Hello students, welcome to all. In this video, we are going to revise the fourth chapter of economics for class 10th, Globalization and the Indian economy. We will discuss each paragraph in form of question answer. Let's start. What is globalization? Globalization is a process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. Means in this process, two or more countries are interconnected through foreign trade and foreign investments. In this process, more and more goods and services and technology are moving from one country to another country. And MNCs are playing a major role in this globalization process. What are multinational corporations? Or what are MNCs? A multinational corporation, MNC, is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Means one company can have centers in many countries. The goods and services are produced globally. Means in one country the products are produced and they are sold in other countries where the products are demanded. The units of production and marketing are spread out across the world. What are the factors used by MNCs for setting up production in a country? And the major factors are close to the markets. MNCs set up production units where it is close to the markets. And the second factor is skilled and unskilled labor. The government policies that look after their interest. Means the government of that country should not impose high taxes on MNCs. So these are the major factors used by MNCs for setting up their production units. What are the different ways in which MNCs set up or control production in other countries? There are three major ways in which MNCs set up and control production. The first is MNCs can provide money and latest technology for production to domestic companies. And the most common way is to buy up local companies. For example, Cargill Foods, a very large American company. Cargill Foods has bought Parak Foods, an Indian company. Now Parak Foods had built a large marketing network in various parts of India. And the third way, MNCs place orders for production with small producers in developed country. Means MNCs place order for the production of garments, footwear and other items with small producers. These producers produce items at very low cost and MNCs sell them at high prices under their own brand's name. What is the difference between investment and foreign investment? In the production of goods, the money which is used to buy land, building and other material are called investment. And the investment made by MNC, multinational corporations, is called foreign investment. Means foreign investment is the money that is invested by a foreign investor in a domestic company. What is foreign trade? Let's get the meaning of the word trade. Buying and selling goods and services is called trade. And the trade between two or more countries is known as foreign trade. Means buying and selling goods and services from one country to another country is called foreign trade. Or we can say foreign trade is all about import and export from one country to another country. What are the basic functions of foreign trade? Basically, foreign trade connects the markets of different countries. It is beneficial to both the producers and the consumers. It creates an opportunity for producers to reach beyond the domestic markets. This means that producers can sell their products not only in the markets located within country, but also in the markets of other countries. Producers of two countries now closely compete against each other, even though they are far away from each other. And this competition improves the quality of the products. And the third point is foreign trade is also beneficial to consumers or buyers. Because it provides a variety of products to consumers, consumers can choose good quality of products at low prices. Thus, the basic functions of foreign trade are: foreign trade connects the markets of different countries. It creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets. Producers can sell their products not only in markets located within country but also compete in markets located in other countries of the world. Foreign trade provides a variety of products to consumers. Why are Chinese toys more popular in Indian markets? Chinese toys are cheaper and better in designs than Indian toys. Means Indian toys are expensive and the designs are not as good as Chinese toys. And that is the reason Chinese toys are more popular in Indian markets. And Indian toy makers are facing losses as their toys are selling much less. And the next question is, what would happen if the government of India puts a heavy tax on the import of Chinese toys? If the government of India puts a heavy tax on the import of Chinese toys, then the cost of Chinese toys will increase. Less Chinese toys would come into the Indian market. Indian buyers would not have more choices in the market and the toys will become more expensive. And this would be an opportunity for Indian toy makers to expand their businesses as there will be less competition. So this would be the result if the government of India puts a heavy tax on import of Chinese toys. What are the factors that enable globalization, or what are the factors affecting globalization? The first major factor affecting globalization is improvements in the transportation technology. Today we have modern means of transportation, airways, waterways, metros. We can travel from one place to another easily. Even heavy goods can be transported easily from one place to another place. Thus, improvements in the transportation technology is a major factor in the process of globalization. And the second major factor of globalization is developments in information and communication technology. Today we have the internet and mobile technology. We can communicate with people living in different countries. And through computers and internet, we can get and share information on anything we want to. And we can also send emails across the world in no time. And the third important factor is liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy. Liberalization is removing trade barriers set by government on foreign trade. For example, reducing tax imposed on foreign trade. The Indian government started the policy of liberalization in 1991. Liberalization has made free the import and export in India. Now foreign companies can invest in Indian companies. Even foreign companies can set up their offices in India. What is meant by a trade barrier? Trade barriers are restrictions on foreign trade imposed by the government. Or we can say trade barriers are the means which are used by the government to control the foreign trade. Which means governments use trade barriers to increase or decrease the export and import of goods in a country. For example, tax on imports is an example of a trade barrier. If the government imposes a tax on any imported product, then the product will be expensive. Producers will not get benefits by importing them and selling them. As a result, the import of that product will decrease. Now the question is, why did the Indian government put up trade barriers after independence? After independence, as we know, the industries were just coming up. They were not established properly. And the Indian producers were not able to compete with the producers of other countries because the products of developed countries were better in quality than our products. Therefore, to protect the producers from foreign competition, the Indian government put up barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment. Only essential items such as machinery, fertilizers, petroleums were allowed to be imported into India. What is liberalization? Why the Indian government started the policy of liberalization? As you know, trade barriers are restrictions on foreign trade. Removing these restrictions is known as liberalization, or removing trade barriers is known as liberalization. Or we can define it as liberalization is a process of removing barriers or restrictions set by the government on foreign trade and foreign investment. Now the question is, why the Indian government started the policy of liberalization? The Indian government started the policy of liberalization in 1991 because in 1991 the Indian government realized that the Indian industries had established well and producers were able to compete with the producers of other countries. Thus, it was the proper time to face competition and improve the quality of products. Thus, in 1991, the liberalization policy was started by Indian government. All the restrictions like permit, licenses, taxes were removed from foreign trade. Liberalization has made free the export and import of goods. Means now the goods could be imported and exported easily, and foreign companies can invest in Indian companies. Even foreign companies can set up offices here in India. And this decision of liberalization was also supported by powerful international organizations such as the WTO, the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization, WTO. What is the WTO? What is the role of the WTO in international trade? In our last video lecture, we saw that the policy of liberalization in India was supported by many international organizations. These organizations are set up to improve international trade. And the World Trade Organization is one of them. It is an international organization which regulates the international trade. According to the WTO, all barriers to foreign trade and investment are harmful. There should be no barriers. Trade between countries should be free. The World Trade Organization, WTO, was formed in 1995, and India is a founding member of the WTO. Currently, 159 countries are the members of the WTO. The WTO has a crucial role in international trade. The main aim of WTO is to liberalize international trade so that all the members of the organization can trade with one another easily. The WTO provides a forum for trade negotiation and handling the trade disputes. The member countries can file complaints if they think that their rights are being violated. The WTO sets rules for international trade and sees that these rules are followed by countries. This means that all member countries should follow the rules and regulations set by the WTO. But the WTO has been criticized for being unfair towards developing countries. The WTO rules force developing countries to remove trade barriers, and developing countries have reduced the trade barriers as per WTO rules. But many developed countries have ignored the rules of WTO. For example, the US government provides a massive money to the farmers for agriculture. And that is the reason the agriculture production is very high in the USA. The USA farmers can sell farm products at low prices, and the surplus farm products are sold in other countries at low prices as well. Due to this, the farmers in developing countries suffer huge losses. The Special Economic Zone or SEZ. A Special Economic Zone or SEZ is an industrial area in which the business and trade laws are different from the rest of the country. These zones are set up by the government with world-class facilities such as electricity, water, roads, transport, and educational facilities. The special economic zones have been established in several countries, including China, India, Jordan, Poland, Kazakhstan, the Philippines, and Russia. And India has specific laws for these special economic zones, as the companies that set up their production units in SEZ do not have to pay taxes for the initial period of 5 years. The main goal of creating special economic zones in India is to create foreign investment and employment. At present in India, there are 8 functional special economic zones located at Santa Cruz in Maharashtra, Cochin in Kerala, Kandla and Surat in Gujarat, Chennai in Tamil Nadu, Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, Falta in West Bengal, Noida in Uttar Pradesh, and at Indore in Madhya Pradesh is now ready for the operation. The impact of globalization in India. As you know, globalization is a process of rapid interconnection between countries. And here we will discuss how this process of interconnection between countries influence the lives of the people, or how globalization has changed the lives of the people. Globalization is a great advantage to consumers, as they have more choices in the market and they are getting good quality products at lower prices. Due to globalization, there is a great competition among producers. Both local and foreign producers are trying to improve the quality of products. And this is an advantage for the consumers because they have choices in the market. They are getting good quality products at low prices. As a result, the standard of living has improved than earlier. Another advantage is foreign investment and employment in India. Due to globalization, many MNCs, multinational companies, have increased investments in India. They invest in industries such as cell phone, automobile, electronics, soft drink, fast food, etc. As a result, new jobs have been created in these industries. Thousands of people are getting high paid jobs and enjoying a high standard of living. Local companies are also benefited due to globalization because local companies are supplying raw materials to these industries. And next, access to better technology. Many top Indian companies have invested in better technology and production methods, and they have raised their production standards. Collaboration with foreign companies. Some Indian companies have got associated with foreign companies and got international market. Now they are multinational companies like Tata Motors, the automobile industry, Infosys, IT industries. Earlier these companies are only known in India, but now these are known in other countries also. They are multinational companies. MNCs are also providing services to Indian companies, especially in the IT field. Services such as data entry, accounting, administrative tasks are now being done cheaply in India because India has highly skilled engineers and educated English speaking youth who can provide these services at major cost.